Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2021, play Mind Meld. If you don't get that reference, go and listen to the song Sunscreen. It's really fantastic. Actually, the best thing Baz Luhrmann's ever produced. That's right, shots fired at Romeo and Juliet and The Great Gatsby. God, you can tell I'm an English teacher, can't you? So you'll probably know now that the Twisted Fizz deck that I highlighted in a video a couple of days ago is now everywhere on ladder. Nothing to do with me. That video has like 15 views. However, the video has become very, very popular, proliferated down from Masters tier, and now a lot of people are playing it. But what I have noticed is that not everyone is playing Mind Meld in it. And even the stock list that I took didn't originally have Mind Meld in it. But once I added it, I found that the win rate for that deck got a lot higher. And I'm going to explain to you in this video why Mind Meld should absolutely be a one-of in your Twisted Fizz deck list. Your win rate will increase, I promise you. Okay, so reason number one is that Mind Meld already has a lot of natural synergy with the Twisted Fizz deck. Of course, you're already looking to play a lot of spells. Wiggly Burblefish requires that you play 6 for it to be free, so by the time that you're planning on winning the game, you'll have normally cast 6, 7, 8 spells and above. And if you've got 2 or 3 elusive creatures and you play a Mind Meld, essentially it's game over. What you're looking at with Mind Meld really is essentially like a 7 mana Field of Rush. Sometimes better than Field of Rush, honestly. And if someone said, hey, do you want to play Field of Rush for 5 mana cheaper? You'd be like, hell yes. Heck yes. Please don't demonetize me. Reason number 2, it wins games that you couldn't otherwise win. A lot of decks that play big creatures, it's quite hard for us to break through, especially if those are Grand Plaza decks, because they're going to give all the creatures Challenger and eat up all of our little elusive creatures and stop us from getting our chip damage in, which we quite often rely on in order to win games. But if they've already attacked and you set up a board of Daring Poros, next turn hit them with the Mind Meld, boom, you've just won out of nowhere. Please overlook how I pronounce the word won there. You've just won out of nowhere, and your opponent can't do anything about it, usually, against these decks. You had no business winning that game, and yet you've just stole it out of nowhere. Fantastic. Now, if this video has helped you so far, before I unveil reason number 3, please do consider subscribing, liking the video maybe. Those things help me, and I'm helping you, so it does only seem fair. But also, feel free to go to the comment section and tell me that I'm a complete idiot and that I'm completely wrong about my evaluations of cards, because I appreciate that engagement too. Reason number 3, and this is one of the reasons that this card is so perfect in this deck, is that Mind Meld is almost never a dead card. Did you draw it too early? Just shuffle it back in with pick a card. Did you draw it in a matchup that you're never going to play this card? Don't worry about it, just discard it. You've got Rummage, you've got Porokan, you've got Get Excited, you've got plenty of ways to get rid of this card if you don't want it. The 2 worst case scenarios for this card are either that you discard it, which honestly you don't really feel too bad about, or you draw a fleeting copy of it through pick a card, and then you should probably just discard it anyway, and you still won't feel too bad about it. Or, even better, you can pick a card again, shuffle it back in, and get it later. Because this deck does cycle through its cards so quickly, you've got a really high chance of drawing your one-of copy throughout the course of a game, which means that quite often it can be your winning game plan. Okay, so obviously Mind Meld is not like the Philosopher's Stone. It's not going to win every single matchup. It's not going to make gold out of lead, which is a metaphor for a win out of a bad game. So there are some cons, but honestly I do not think that they are that big. The first one, and probably going to come to the minds of most people, is Deny. Obviously a lot of Zoe Lee Sin decks going around right now which are playing a lot of Deny. If you do suspect that your opponent is playing Deny, I would just hard play around it. If there is any risk of your Mind Meld getting denied, probably not worth it. On the plus side though, if your opponent is holding up Deny for your Mind Meld, that lets you get a lot of other stuff past the radar, which is quite good. I've also had games where I've actually managed to run my Zoe Lee Sin opponent out of resources. They've already cast all of their denies, and then you just go ahead with Mind Meld and nothing else in the deck can really take care of that, so easy wins. The other 2 are AoE board wipes like the Harrowing or Withering Wail. The Harrowing is really rarely played, and honestly if they do play the Harrowing after you've played your Mind Meld, you don't care that much. They've spent 9 mana to counter your 7 mana spell, and quite often we can rebuild our board anyway. And as I said, Harrowing's not played that much. Withering Wail is honestly a scarier prospect, and if you do suspect that your opponent could be playing it, I would consider that the biggest counter to Mind Meld, given that a lot of your elusive creatures are X1s. If that is the case, just don't play a Mind Meld, because that is too scary. So yes, I hope that this video has helped you a little bit. Put Mind Meld into your deck. Play the Wiggly Burblefish Twisted Fizz deck, because you get to play a Wiggly Burblefish. What a card, oh my god. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to see more Legends of Runeterra content, as I say, please do consider subscribing, liking the video, leaving a comment in the comment section down below. But otherwise, have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.